you see these lights here?
Yeah.
When they're blasting through, you're blinded.
Broadway's The Elephant Man might seem like an odd place to find Bradley Cooper, but he has spent years in the wings waiting for the chance.
Oh, Charlie, it's a good year to be here in the Booth Theater where it originated, where David Bowie did it here in 1980 and Philip Anglim took it here.
And it was the character that motivated you to want to be an actor?
Yeah, it was the movie, David Lynch's film. I saw when I was about 12 years old, and there was something about the story. It was infectious.
This is John Merrick. Hello.
The Elephant Man is the story of Joseph Merrick, an Englishman with a rare disease that distorted his face and body. He spent years as a carnival spectacle until he was rescued from misery by a London doctor.
When you get ready to do this role every night, how do you prepare for it?
I have a picture of Joseph in my room that was taken very soon before he died in 1889. And I know there's something about it. I just look at his eyes and I just sort of sit with him in the room for about 10 minutes. Yeah. I just sit with him.
I'm not going to let you down, you say, doing it.
A little bit. I may give him a little kiss. and then I come down. But the great thing, Charlie, about the play is I stand on this stage every night, me, not as him, and with the audience, we take that journey to become him together. I feel like I go away. I don't ever think about the breathing or the contortion. So I feel like I'm actually making sense of the words more.
Does it vary from night to night at all?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
And what's that about?
Well, it's about these people. The audience is a character in a play.
And they influence you?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Well, they set up the rhythm of the play. Okay, so Robert De Niro was going to show up. And I remember thinking, well, he's the best. And I just don't want him to see me acting ever, So what I started to do was I realized, here's the audience, and and I started to realize that I wasn't facing the audience at all. I was constantly like moving away from them, and I started to talk really low because I was trying so desperately not to act.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, when I saw him, he was like, "Yeah, I couldn't hear you."
There's a lesson.
There's a lesson. So be bold. Trust yourself.
Yeah.
It was funny. She is my friend with an F.
A capital F. She's mine.
For friend.
Cooper, who turns 40 next year, is also being bolder at the box office.
It used to be only, that's the guy from The Hangover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's Silver Lining and...
Yeah, now it's sort of more of a combination. You have poor social skills. You have a problem.
Two of his recent films, Silver Linings Playbook and American Hustle,
I'm running the show. I'm the quarterback.
have earned him Oscar nominations.
I just want to get the bad guys, but if I can't see him, I can't shoot him.
And in Clint Eastwood's upcoming movie American Sniper, Cooper is barely recognizable.
Yeah, she's got a grenade. She's got an RKG Russian grenade. She's saying to the kid.
He plays Navy SEAL Chris Kyle, the deadliest sniper in U.S. history, with more than 150 kills in Iraq.
Initially, I thought there's no way I could play Chris. I thought Chris Pratt should do it. And it wasn't until I got
Chris Pratt would be the guy.
Yeah, I just didn't think I'm from Philadelphia. I'm a $185. How am I going to play this guy? And then I started to get to know him, and there was something about his energy in these interviews that I started watching where I just sort of, there's something about him, and I thought, oh, I can tap into that.
Cooper never met the man he would portray because last year, Kyle was shot and killed by a fellow veteran at a Texas shooting range.
But you met the father.
Yeah.
Chris's father.
Yeah, and I just spoke with him this morning, actually. He just saw the movie.
He's now seen the film.
He saw the movie yesterday.
But he had some concerns when you first just said, we want to make a movie about your son.
Yeah, understandably so. I mean, think about it. Your boy's killed, and a year later, these two men from Hollywood are sitting in the very seat that Chris had dinner in every night, telling you that they're going to make a movie about your child. I mean, that was not lost on me, how surreal it was.
And didn't he say something like, I don't know if you pretty boys can do it?
He said something about hooking me up to the back of his truck and dragging me to take the pretty out of me. And I actually thanked him. I hadn't been called pretty since I was about 8 years old.
Exactly.
So, yeah, thank you. It's a compliment.
Fine. Yeah.
I'll take it.
And now he's seen it.
He's seen it.
What did he say?
Well, I want him to speak for himself, but I will say this. It meant everything to me, the call we had this morning. Because I looked him in the eyes, he and Debbie, and I said, look, I'm going to take care of your boy. I know I'm 185 pounds right now, and I don't sound like I'm from Texas, but I'm telling you, I'm going to do everything I can to do right by him.
How did you get prepared for this? Beyond being able to study him, the physical things you had to do.
Yeah, it was brutal.
To add what, 30, 40,
Yeah, I mean,
50
at the end of the
pounds?
day, I think it was 35.
And it's muscle. you've
It's
gotta
muscle.
add.
Yeah, it's not. It wasn't bodybuilding.
Yeah.
It was weight training.
And you had a dialect coach.
That's right.
That helped you understand Southern speak.
Yeah.
Babe, I do it for you. You know that I do to protect you.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
Texas
Texas
which is
speak,
different.
and Chris's Texas speak, which is, I'm sure, as you know, the draw comes out of you depending on who you're with.
Exactly.
Yeah, he was the same way.
The result, writes Vanity Fair, is not simply one of the best performances of the year, but a performance for the ages, the kind that creeps into your soul.
Is there anything that you learned about Chris, the man, that you take with you?
Well, I'm still wearing his shoes today. Yeah, I've
What do you mean still wearing his shoes?
these are the shoes he wore on 3 of his tours, and these are one I wore in the movie, and I still find myself wearing them.
Really?
Yeah.
What's that?
I don't know. I don't want to let go, maybe. I felt like he was a real man that we don't see much of. Like, if someone could watch American Sniper, who's a vet, and thinks, wow, I've never heard my story told that way. I don't feel so alone. Well, I mean, there's purpose in my life.